All right, let's get right into it. Thinking about moving to Nova Scotia? Maybe you've been dreaming of that East Coast life. Well, if that's you, you are in the right place. We're going to break down what it really takes to make that move happen.
You know, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's the whole dream right there in one sentence. It's this promise of a life where, get this, no matter where you are in the province, you are never more than 67 kilometers away from the sea. That's pretty amazing.
But here's the real question, the one that I'm sure is on your mind. Is it actually possible to have that world-class career and be just 20 minutes away from a beautiful sandy beach? Can you really get the best of both worlds? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into.
So let's break it all down. We're going to look at the promise, the lifestyle, then the price, what it's really going to cost you, and finally the playbook, your step-by-step guide for moving to Canada's ocean playground. Okay, first things first, you have to understand that Nova Scotia isn't what it used to be. It's gone from this, quiet maritime region to a seriously booming tech and innovation hub. We're talking about a massive transformation that's pulling in remote workers and startups like crazy, making it one of the hottest spots for newcomers.
So let's talk about choosing your Nova Scotian lifestyle. Because moving to Nova Scotia isn't just one thing. Oh no. Your entire experience is going to be defined by where you decide to plant your roots.
Let's start with the two big ones, Halifax versus Cape Breton. On one side, you've got Halifax. It's vibrant, youthful, and packed with jobs in tech and finance. Think a busy waterfront and lots of pubs. And on the other side, you've got Cape Breton, a totally different vibe, friendly, historic, and all about that incredible music scene and stunning nature.
But that vibrant Halifax life?
Yeah, it's gonna cost you. Right now, the average rent for a one-bedroom apartment is sitting at around $1,700, and that's mainly because vacancy rates are super low.
Now, let's jump over to Sydney, which is the main city in Cape Breton. Big difference here. The rent for a similar place drops to about $1,250. So a way more affordable option, for sure, especially if you're working in sectors like tourism or healthcare.
Okay, let's throw another option into the mix. How about Halifax versus the Annapolis Valley? We're talking a complete 180 here. The valley is the province's agricultural heartland. Think wineries, farm-to-table restaurants. It's a world away from that fast-paced, Zoomtown vibe you get in Halifax.
And if you look at a town like Wolfville in the valley, which is just beautiful by the way, rent is more affordable, around $1,300. But, and this is a big but, life out there is rural. A car isn't a nice to have. It is absolutely essential. All right, so we've looked at the different lifestyles. Now it's time to talk money. Let's get into the nitty-gritty, the cost of coastal life, and how you can actually budget for your move.
This chart really lays it all out. You can see Halifax is the big economic engine, and yep, it has the highest rent. But then look at a place like Truro. They call it the hub of Nova Scotia. It's even cheaper, around $1,150, and it's a major logistics center. And check out those winter temps. Cold, yeah, but not, prairie winter cold.
And this really shows you why Halifax has such a huge pull. Almost half, 45%, of the entire province's population lives in the Halifax area. It's like the sun in the solar system for jobs and growth. Everything kind of revolves around it.
Okay, this is probably the best piece of advice anyone can give you about living there. It is so true. Nova Scotia winters are just messy. You get snow, then rain, then ice, all hovering around 0 degrees. So seriously, don't worry so much about a massive parka. Just make sure you have good boots to keep your feet dry.
Okay, let's get down to business. You've made the decision. You're moving. So what do you do now? Here is your action plan, your playbook for those first critical 90 days.
Listen up, because these next two steps are things you need to do before you even start packing. First, check if your job offer is eligible for the Atlantic Immigration Program, the AIP. This thing is gold. It lets you skip the whole complicated LMIA process. Second, and this is non-negotiable, you have to get private health insurance. There's a mandatory 3-month wait for provincial coverage, and trust me, you do not want to be without it.
Okay, as soon as your boots hit the ground in Nova Scotia, the clock is ticking. In that first week, you've got 3 top priorities. 1, get yourself to an office and apply for your MSI health card. 2, get to an Access Nova Scotia to swap your driver's license. You only have 90 days. And 3, and please do this immediately, get on the wait list for a family doctor. The wait is super long, sometimes more than 2 years, so you need to do it day 1.
All right, let's have a real talk. No place is paradise, right? If you're going to make a successful move, you have to go in with your eyes wide open. So let's get into the reality check and talk about the challenges. Honestly, it pretty much comes down to two big things you need to brace yourself for: taxes and healthcare.
Okay, let's talk taxes. And look, there's no way to sugarcoat this. They're high. We're talking some of the highest sales and income taxes in North America. But here's the strategy, the other side of the coin, your housing costs. Your rent or mortgage is almost guaranteed to be thousands of dollars cheaper per year than in a place like Ontario or BC. So that helps balance out the higher tax hit.
The other big reality check is healthcare. The system is definitely strained. Over 100,000 people are on the wait list for a family doctor. But, and this is important, you're not totally left in the dark. The strategy here is to be proactive. While you're on that wait list, you can use Virtual Care NS for free online appointments, and you've got walk-in clinics for anything that's not an emergency.
So, we've gone through the promise, the price, and the playbook. Which brings us to the big finish, the final verdict. Is the East Coast actually calling you?
Look, it really boils down to this simple trade-off. The pros? You get an unbeatable work-life balance near the ocean, a streamlined immigration path with the AIP, and a slower, safer pace of life. The cons? You're looking at some of the highest taxes in the country and a healthcare system that's under a lot of pressure.
So, at the end of the day, this is the question you have to ask yourself. Does a higher quality of life and a more affordable home outweigh those higher taxes and the strained public services? Your answer to that question, well, that's what's going to tell you if Nova Scotia is the right place for you.